At just 16, they were sent to prison for life. No second chance, no coming back, just prison. This is a crazy murder crime that was plotted, carried out and recorded on a tape. Yeah, you heard me right, on a tape. Two young boys had a plan to murder one of their classmates, then go on to record the process and form a documentary with it. A live murder crime. Here is the backstory. In 2006, two close friends named Brian and Tori both attended a high school in America. They were both 16 years old, who became a friend because they have similar dreams. They loved horror movies, the one that involves killing and doing all sorts of crime. It happened that they watched a horror movie titled Scream, where characters were unaliving other people for fun. So these boys admired the violence in the movie. They do not just want to watch it, but want to recreate them in real life, and they began to plot. They recorded everything using handheld camera to film their lives, and eventually their plan to kill. You see, this video was the first part of their tape, where they were planning their murder.
I'm telling Cassie's family, but she had to be number one. We have to stick with the plan. She's perfect, so she's gonna die.
Things are about to get real disturbing, real fast. They wanted to become famous, not in movies, but become the real horror. They believed unaliving people would give their life meaning at age 16. With no hesitation, they continued with their plan. The lady in this video was their classmate. Her name is Cassie Jo. She was their first target. Cassie never knew these boys were making video of her as part of their murder documentary. She was just talking to the camera like a normal person should do. Meanwhile, she was taking part in a video that was filming her death. It was the night of September 22nd, 2006, where Cassie was at home in order to feed their animals, while no one was around, and it seemed she was allowed to hang out at the house with her friends to watch movies. Meanwhile, Cassie had a boyfriend in the same school named Beckham, and Beckham was also a friend to these two boys, but he never knew they were planning a murder. That day at 6 p.m, her boyfriend called Beckham showed up. She also invited other high school mates including Brian and Tori, showing them the compound of their house, but she didn't know Brian and Tori were paying very close attention. Not just to be good house guests, but because they planned on using this new information against her later that evening. As you are curious to know what happened, click on subscribe button to be the first person to know when we drop our next video. After the tour was over, they all sat down around the television to watch movie. Brian and Tori got bored early into the movie, and they made an excuse to leave, telling Cassie and her boyfriend that they wanted to go to a theater in Pocatello to watch another movie instead. This left only Cassie and her boyfriend at home alone. They recorded this after they left.
We found our victim, and sad as it may be, she's our friend. But you know what? We all have to make sacrifices. Our first victim is going to be Cassie Stoddart. She's going to be alone in a big, dark house out in the middle of nowhere. How perfect can you get? We know there's lots of doors. There's lots of places to hide. I unlocked the back doors, so it's all locked. Now we just gotta wait.
Cassie didn't know that while giving her friend a tour, Brian had unlocked the basement door when she wasn't looking. This gave both Brian and Tori a way to re-enter this home later on without having to come through the front door. They went back to their car and put on full body costumes to fully conceal their identity. They waited, masks on, black clothes, knives ready, and then they came back in through the basement. Once the two were inside, they decided to scare Cassie and Beckham. They began turning the lights in the house on and off through the breaker. At this point, Cassie got super freaked out, but Beckham continued to reassure her that everything would be okay. Then Beckham came up with an idea to spend the night with Cassie to make sure she would be safe. But Beckham's mom refused. She came to pick him up that night. The boys waited till 10:30 p.m. after he left. Cassie would remain in the house alone for the rest of the evening. And finally, Brian and Tori sneaked upstairs. They opened and slammed the closet door a few times more to scare Cassie even more. At this point, she was trying to sleep, but obviously unable to do so. Once the two were satisfied, they sprung into action and attacked Cassie, stabbing her at least 30 times, in which 12 of the wounds could claim her life. But the two kept going anyway, and they still recorded this after they unalived her.
I just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a f***ing joke.
I'm shaking.
I stabbed her in the throat and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. That felt like it wasn't real. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the f*** up. We gotta get our act straight.
Okay.
After this atrocity, the two still had other plans to murder people even more. But before their next plan, Beckham had been trying to call her girlfriend several times, but she hadn't answered the phone. The second day not seeing Cassie, Beckham took the police to Cassie's house to see what happened. The police who first attended the scene said that her body was in a horrible state. Police began their investigation and found out that Torre and Brian were the last person that saw Cassie alive. An investigator was sent to Torre's home on the same day her body was discovered, and he explained that they left the house early because they were bored. He said they left to go see a movie. Brian told a very similar story to the investigators. Their lies slowly unraveled. The interrogating officer asked Torre what movie they had seen that evening. He couldn't give the official the title. He was asked to describe some of the details of the movie. He couldn't tell the official what the movie had been all about. So, bunch of lies. The investigators believed that something fishy was going on with both Brian and Torre, and of course, they are correct. Within just 3 days, they found all evidence that they needed to arrest these two boys and charge them for murder. Brian soon led police to an area where they buried all the instruments used to take Cassie's life. And inside this hole, they saw the most convincing evidence for the investigators, a notebook paper where they wrote their plan. And more obviously, the videotape. In this tape, Brian was heard saying, "We are going for high death count. We are going to make history," meaning they are going for more. The police got the videotapes. Both were arrested. They tried to blame each other, but the video spoke louder than anything. They were sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. No chance of getting out. That is where they are right now, locked up growing old in a prison cell, all because of something they did at 16. This part is incredibly funny, where the boys were appealing the case. Torre said he was pressured by Brian. Brian said he was the leader, pushing the blame to themselves. Court looked at Brian's age and said he might get a second chance, but they denied Torre. The law is still fighting over whether 16 years old can truly understand what they are doing. Can two 16 years old boys plan a murder and still be called kids? If you are still watching, tell us in the comments if you think they deserve to live. They destroyed 3 lives, the victim, themselves, and everyone who knows them. They wanted to be famous, now they are, but not how they imagined. Not as creators, not as leaders, but as two boys who thought murder could make them legends. It made them prisoner instead. If this moved you, share it, and if you have not subscribed yet, hit the black button at the right side of your screen. This is Aroja Probe. We don't just tell stories, we probe out what anyone wants to discover.